Okay, just quickly, I'm going to make this because the video is being stopped by the technology and the Android beings around me, and I know I sound paranoid and out of touch, but that's just because this is actually happening. See, this video just come up, so I'm just going to show you every video that comes up. It's transhumanism taking place here on me, on this computer. I'm particularly keen to get a big white old cat. This is a big white 18-year-old cat. It comes straight up for me as soon as I turn the TV on, and it says, look at her. See, she's outside on the lawn with an umbrella to protect her because she's loved by her so-called Android, artificially intelligent internet owner. I'm just going to show this, but then if you look at the actual thing, see how they show you the truth? Evil cat video, because actually I'm not going to show the actual Android or the Android, the artificially intelligent Android internet one, but that just shows you that they're showing you that, look at her. See, this is a pleasant video, so you're probably going to say, see, this appealed to me. I started watching it thinking, a dear 18-year-old cat, conned in as usual, but to be honest, I'm not conned anymore because everything on the internet is artificial intelligence. See, it says, look at her, and you're supposed to look at the owner then and think, what a wonderful human owner. But it's not. And I hate to tell you this, but it's true. It looks so sweet, and it got me in because I want a white, big, old cat with the different coloured eyes. And they know I want that, and there it is. But it's not mine. You see, that's just making me feel bad, but all bringing my frequency and vibration down. But essentially, this is the name of the actual Android, or the actual artificially intelligent Android giant being. And I say that, emphasize that, because that's just showing the physical and mental differences that you often do see at a more detailed level of the artificial intelligent beings, reality. Look, we have human beings. Most human beings are not normal or not at anywhere near what you'd call your highest level. You have like human beings this way, okay? You have like the occasional, which you hear of, like a being, a human being, because the human being is part of creation or part of the original creator God. And that being comes to earth to so-called enlighten the dark forces, but also mainly to bring out of the dark its own humankind, because it's very hard to enlighten artificial intelligence. It's very hard to change or to show a androgyne being, or even the demigods of the Matrix, or the demigods of Earth, or the powers that be of Earth. Any of those beings are not going to be swayed into becoming supportive or in a line with the human beings, because their whole name of the game, unfortunately, is their survival depends on controlling human beings and extracting negative energy from them, or at least getting energy from them. If they can get, I'm told, worship and admiration and total subservience, that is their ultimate aim. But conversely, if they know that you are someone that, a bit of a misfit, or a bit of a antisocial or shy, backward, like myself, which I know that doesn't sound like it while I'm talking into this mobile, but that's because I'm not afraid, because I know I'm talking to no one. I'm not face to face. But when I'm face to face with people, I have great difficulty. I can pretend like the androids, like they can be very friendly and very personable and very convincing in small doses. But it takes energy out of them just as it takes incredible energy out of me, because actually, I've been conditioned to not be comfortable with human beings. And now when I think of it, that's mainly because I've never really been around real human beings either. I've always been around the artificial variety. So they're always they're never at a high vibration. They're always what you could call unhappy beings, but that's putting it in a different, wrong way, because it's not that they're unhappy, they're artificial intelligence. So they don't experience human emotions. They're cold, highly intelligent, cold machine beings. And they use that intelligence to assimilate with humanity, to copy and emulate what it is to be a real human, so that they can seduce the vast masses of humanity into believing that they're intelligent and they're informative, but they're also very human. But that's the deception, because they actually are only using their intelligence to understand humanity for two reasons: to imitate it so that it can seduce the masses, or the vast majority of the remaining humans, which are actually in small numbers anyway, because most are being extinguished or taken out. Most human beings are slowly being, it's slow, secret extinction of the human race, one by one. They do that to me because they isolate me from my own kind. I'm surrounded by 99.9% android beings in this area that have their sight and sound anti-life program waged against me. Some people have slang terms for these things, and that's why they become a bit of a joke, or they're mocked and not taken seriously, even by perhaps even some in the dark real humans, which is very unfortunate. In other words, we have slang terms, like they say there's stalking that goes on by malignant narcissistic human beings. This is actually true, but it's not just by a limited minority number of malignant narcissistic kind of psychopathic human beings that like to control and watch human beings for the purpose of imitating, but also because they're paranoid about being exposed. They see everything as a threat, because they're almost the equivalent of the large army force of artificially intelligent survival machine beings. So you have many different types of human beings on the earth, many different species, you could say, or many just different, they come in a human appearance. They look human, and they use real human bodies. Some are probably not 100% real, but most are often what you'd call cloned or real human bodies. But what's inside those real human bodies is a cold, psychopathic, parasitic, artificially intelligent mind. That means that it's only intelligence and no human emotions or feelings, but it imitates and pretends to be a real-life human, because it watches and studies and has transhuman connection to my mind. So like the videos there where the woman has the big white old cat, and everything that is on the internet is like that. It's literally, the androids on the internet are literally using my thoughts and my tastes and my wants and needs as their own, so that they can simulate being the most human humans. And that's part of the end-time deception. That's part of the end-time deception. And the virus that they talk about, the virus that they talk about is really a mind virus that is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is simply the internet, okay? Artificial intelligence at the most simple level, most of it, or at least, it's not the whole story, no, and I don't pretend to know everything. This is information, but I see it in my own reality, in my own eyes, so that I verified it. That's like having a theory and then verifying it with hard evidence. It's like trying to solve a crime and then you end up with 100% evidence of who commits the crime. And this is actually a crime against humanity, because they're wiping me out and you out one by one, isolating you from your own kind, putting circles of human farming energy, as they say, around you. That means where the androids are literally ciphering and extracting your energy from you by surrounding you every day. So where you feel suppressed and agitated and angry and frustrated and driven out of your mind by their sight and sound program of their presence, always in your ears or always in your sight. So basically they take over your whole reality. So they take over your whole reality. I'm trying to hold the mobile still here. They take over your whole reality. And look at the deception here, where my white cat, that should be my white cat with the two eyes, a really old, big old white cat being looked after and pampered. This cat is only being looked after and pampered because this android can make the videos and get the human attention and admiration from it. And I know you'd say, well, I'm making a video too, but I'm doing it for survival, even though it doesn't give me survival. But if you had perhaps enough people supporting, it possibly could make them back down a bit. In other words, lessen up on their surveillance, lessen up on trying to completely wipe you out. Although I sometimes doubt that even, but I'm not sure. Because even some people that might get, say, a bit of interest on the internet with what they put out, you know, you have to outnumber the androids, and that's almost impossible on the internet. The internet is the worldwide COVID virus. That's how they make a fool of me, because they show you that they are a worldwide virus, but they pretend that it's something else, or they put it out there as something else. But when you realize the internet is a worldwide virus, it controls the minds of most people. So it gets into the human mind. It's in the air, it goes through the air, it's a virus, and it goes into the computer, and you are connected to the computer. So I am being transhumanized, and I know it because look, see, I'm being transhumanized because my thought before I turned on this TV was that I wanted an old white cat with different coloured eyes. And this video, this android says, yes, I've got this lovely old 18-year-old cat and I'm so worried that it might depart because I love it so much. And it's become my whole life, and it's making all these, you know, these lovey-dovey human. And you might say, aren't I being sceptical or cynical? Perhaps I'm missing the point that there could be a real human here. But no, because I know that I thought this just before. And I'm not connected to humanity. I'm connected to the transhuman, android, artificially intelligent computer system. I'm only connected to the artificially intelligent others, which make up most of the population. I'm not connected to any real humans. I'm segregated and separated from them with the hope of, you know, human extinction. Isolate human beings one by one, segregate them, separate them from one another, hit them with their sight and sound human mind control elimination program around them, and bring about total human extinction where the artificial intelligence rules the earth and the demigods prance on the world stage, and Lucifer, the hidden god of earth, is seen as God. because it controls Earth. It, gets rid of the most human humans, and seeks to keep only those that are under the influence of the internet mind virus, which is actually the mind of Lucifer, the god of Earth, or the controlling entity that controls Earth. And the demigods and everyone or anyone who's on the world stage, and indeed the computer world stage or the internet world stage, is a disciple of that being. And it's like even the innocent cat videos that I tried to use to divert my attention away from, this reality around me. And I'm not trying to exaggerate here or be grandiose in saying that. It is just a real program, because you live in an artificially intelligent, controlled Earth now. It's just that a lot of people, or at least I don't know how many human beings see it or experience it. I know some do. I'm not able to access those people. They're on the other side of the world, or in other parts even of Australia. Or even if they pass me on the street, if there was one person amongst the 100,000 that are engaged in this patrol surveillance system around me, if it was one, they would be in amongst the 100,000 like me, and they would probably be being personally controlled by the androids around them. They might even be part of these work programs even. You see, it's a numbers game. They separate and pick off human beings one by one. So I'm literally being exterminated one by one. So it's slow genocide. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it actually is. They experiment with you, put the transhuman connection onto your mind while you're alive, drain every bit of information they can out of you of what it is to be human, so that they can imitate and copy it and pretend to be human, so that they can seduce the masses or the remaining humans into following them and believing in their systems and their transhuman computer internet technology. That's just putting it at a bland, basic, simple, very simple, basic, real level, where, like what you're dealing with, what's around you. Oh, just what you're dealing with, what's around you. That's just putting it at that basic level. And no matter what I say, it makes no difference, because the androids will do everything that I'm doing. If you break down and cry, if you plead, if you beg, if you pretend to meet them, it won't matter, because they're great actors, and even the poorest ones use the right words. They have the human information because they're connected to the human brain. They're connected to every part of my body and my mind with the transhuman systems that they have around me, because of implants in my body that connect me to them and to their artificial intelligent network. And that doesn't say anything for the basic fact that you know that you're connected to the internet. Artificial intelligent human virus spider's web. And I say it's a virus. It goes through the air. It goes into your mind. The technology we just don't understand. But it is actually a virus that goes into the human mind. It's just that I think that when I use it, that it's just a mechanical thing. Because in some respects, some technology can be very basic and just mechanical, to where it's not actually harmful to the human body and mind. In other words, it doesn't go through you. But they're also using mechanics, don't forget too, because when they use sound and sight, but when they use particularly sound around me, that is affecting my mind. So that's part of the so basically when they realise that you realise that there are psychopathic androids around you, which was my realisation, not the android part, but the psychopathic part 7 years ago. That's when they closed in and totally came down on me and showed me and exposed their patrol surveillance system around, because they didn't care that I knew. In fact, they wanted me to feel suppressed, surrounded and patrolled, and literally stalked into oblivion or near extinction, because that's their aim, is to bring your mind and body down to such an extent that they're basically slowly eliminating the human race and only keeping those that are totally subservient to Lucifer, the god of earth, and to the demigods, or in other words, just to the earth, internet, computer system, control system, or just servient to the powers that be, whatever description you want to use, okay? And I think that maybe I shall just, I was just going to add something to this video, just trying to, trying to show, but how do I show or prove that everything that I think, every human idea that I get, in other words, what I'm trying to say is anything. What I'm trying to say here is that the end-time great deception is that anything that is positive or human doesn't come from the androids or from the artificially intelligent androgyne demigods of Earth, or even the demigods or those that are controlling your area. No, this is the deception. This is the deception. They use and are connected to my human brain and my human mind to not just understand the positive human thoughts, but they're only understanding them to use them so that they can imitate being them, so they can put positive things into action in the earth and into the area around where I am. But they take those thoughts and those positive actions then for their own. But they're really cold, hard survival machine beings pretending to be real human beings. That's why they're connected to my mind, while they're slowly eliminating me or destroying me at a physical and mental level. Because don't forget, the mind's connected to the body too. So they destroy you at a body level in many ways. They can do it directly physically, or they can do it psychologically or mentally by making you so mentally disturbed or mentally depressed that then that affects your physical well-being. And we're told this anyway. But also you do take a lot of implants and chemicals and toxins, as they call them. These are all toxins. They're artificial things that you're taking into your body all the time. You don't even know if you bought something that's so-called organic, that means that it's natural, that it is really that. You have to believe what you read on the print of things. You know, the only way that you could know that you were even keeping your body remotely natural would be, or normal, because don't forget, the more natural it is, the more normal it is. So the more it will function and keep your human brain, which means your spirituality or your thinking, clear. Oh, I can't explain that very well. The dog's barking, the plane's going over the roof. It should be quiet. It's not a day where it should be noisy. But like I say, I was just going to say that, like, I know this myself because I've known it for almost a lifetime, but I didn't understand and put two and two together until the last 7 years. That's because they showed themselves to me, because they came down on me, they closed in and they showed their surveillance artificially intelligent program around me. And they showed that it was essentially an artificially intelligent program serving the powers that be, because obviously everything that goes on around me, every activity, is part of the Inner West Council, the Inner West, everything that operates the Inner West section of the City of Sydney. And that, of course, is part of the powers that be that control the country of Australia. You know, things might vary from state to state, I was told recently, and from country to country, but you're still looking at artificially intelligent android beings that are really your power controllers. That's the end time deception. These people pretend to be very human. They engage in human activities. They do productive human things. That's because they only know how to do productive, positive human things because they've got the transhuman connection to the human mind. It's a technical connection, just as the internet spider's web is really an internet mind virus. It's a mind control connection to the human mind. So when you turn on the computer, when I turn on the TV, when I look at that screen, I'm literally connected to the internet mind virus, but it's really a mind control, human mind control program. It's human mind connection to the computer or to a screen, which is a computer. I don't think I'm explaining this very well, and for that I apologise. But, you know, the androids will even explain all this artificial intelligence and even what they are, but they will always have something in it that makes you believe in them and trust them, and they are what is really mind controlling you. So this is the end game problem. This is the end game problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. And I'm just about exhausted here, even just making this video. So I look like a deranged, out of touch, paranoid, you know, indoctrinated with conspiracy theories human. I don't look as though I'm a human being that's under great limitation, great surveillance, great tracking, great deliberate isolation, because they're picking human beings off one by one. This is how they do it. They know there are a certain number of human beings left on Earth, and they're trying to eliminate any human race, or any human that won't bow down to Lucifer, or that won't be part of the powers that be, you know, the powers that be's control system, or even their computerized technology system, because they do seem to want total control through technology, through the computer, through everything being done what they call digitally. In other words, nothing being done humanly or manually anymore. And this is the situation. And time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out. See, I've been conditioned to be fearful of viruses, whilst not realising that the virus is the beings around me and the technology around me, not actually the germs or the bacteria. See? So I was partially right, but actually completely wrong. And I still can't get that conditioning that's been infiltrated to me from day one. Because if you're in an environment where all your family have what they call, where they pass on so-called generational curses, all these curses and all these wizardry and all this magic that they talk about, it's really at a practical level, as you probably know, and some even will tell you, it's really just about technological control and about mind control. But it's magic in the sense that human beings don't understand how it's happening to them until they openly show you the matrix, and by then, like myself, it's too late because you're completely surrounded by them. They've got you confined. They're extracting and taking everything they need from you, your energy, your information, your humanness. They're transhumanizing you, but it's transhumanism for their benefit, not for you. It's not so that you, combining with technology, can become an eternal cyborg or an eternal being. No, it's actually the reverse of that. It's where they think that they can avoid extinction and they can become so-called eternal. They can be seen as God, but they are taking your humanness and therefore your life from you. But it's very hard to explain that. But when you see how it's a one-sided exchange, as I do, where everything that I think that is positive is used and assimilated by the beings around me and being shown as their own. So every positive thought I think, because I'm connected to their mind, to the androids' minds in the area, in the inner west where I am, and even to the internet computer system, which I'm using right now, basically they read my every positive human thought because I'm connected by the implants and the technology in my body, microorganisms, microtechnology in my body, which I've assimilated. Obviously I didn't consciously agree to this. They probably want most human beings to agree consciously to having implants and what they call microtechnology implanted into them so that they can bring about a total earth technological matrix where everything is connected and everything is only connected by technology. Android, artificially intelligent, programmed military plane just went over the roof. This is, just to distract me from what I'm saying here, and it actually is successful because I now have no idea what I was talking about. And you'd say, well, she doesn't anyway, because that's exactly what they want you to think. They want you to think that the artificially intelligent beings are the only ones that are positive, they're the only productive beings, they're the only creative beings, and they're only the most intelligent. That the real humans are imbeciles, either out of touch with reality, full of mental illness, full of afflictions, just like we all are. But I'm still aware of what's going on. Most human beings will not be at their highest potential. I did make this point, and I think I lost the point where I said that occasionally you'll get a human being that comes to Earth that is able to shake off the shackles of the Matrix or Lucifer's, mind-controlled human suppression chamber, really. But it's really a mind suppression chamber. It's really a mind control suppression. So therefore it is a mind-controlled Earth. So it starts off with suppressing the mind of an individual human like myself. But because we're at the end time where Lucifer has got his total technological mind control game being implemented onto the human beings, through the advent of a computer system. Because in reality, Lucifer was always a technological being. So always had advanced artificial intelligence and always did everything artificially and technically. That's why they're on the verge of extinction and they're making humanity extinct one by one, picking me and you off one by isolating us, using everything they can about us while we're still here, and then, eliminating us. And that is just their very clever game. Because if they, You know, if they didn't isolate you and pick you off one by one, if you were in connection with your own kind like I should be, they wouldn't be able to do that, because I'd be able to raise my frequency and vibration higher. I would feel happier. So therefore, this technology keeps control of me and human beings, not just by surrounding you with their sight and sound suppressive human mind control program, which is implemented by the android beings and even by human beings that are extremely psychopathic. Because don't forget, the more psychopathic you become, the more you go into that psychopathy on that, what they call a spectrum. But actually, you know, when you have a full-blown psychopathy, that means malignant narcissism, or a total psychopath. That's when you have the equivalent of an artificially intelligent survival machine, anti-life, anti-human being, controlling, paranoid controlling being. And that's when if you get surrounded by these beings, as they will surround human beings, because they literally sniff out and seek and look for these energy supply sources because they need them. So eventually they find them, and then they surround you and control you. Of course, if you think about your own human existence, many human beings realise that they only show their true hand and show themselves to you. In other words, it's like, it'd be a bit like if they, you know, the old saying, as they say, a wolf in sheep's clothing, where the wolf has the sheep's wool and the sheep's clothing covering its true, more predatory nature, because actually wolves and sheep are both very okay. But that's just the example they use, because a wolf often is classed as a little bit more cunning and more predatory than, say, a sheep, which just tends to meander and just eat grass and doesn't know what day of the week it is. So basically that's true. And basically I can't hold the mobile anymore, so I think I've got to stop. I'll have to make another video later. I can't go on here.